Thank you everyone for joining us this evening, and fantastic context setting by David and an excellent presentation by Lalit. So we would follow up on that with a more software-centric view as David outlined, and we will get started. My title for this session is Leaping Forward with OpenRAN. What do we really mean by that? Let's learn. And before I get into the details, a little bit of introduction about Radisys. Some of you might know. We've been a leading telecom, open telecom provider for more than 3 decades in multiple spaces, including wireless. And in this slide, we are highlighting our presence, leadership, and participation in multiple forums. Telecom Infra Project, we've been one of the earliest members since 2016. Small Cell Forum, we've been a member for a long, long time, and currently we are leading 5G and FAPI standardization, and we have received awards for our Open RAN contributions for 3 years in a row. In the ORAN Alliance, we have been part of it since its inception, and we are leading one of the working groups, Working Group 8 in ORAN, and I am the co-chair representing Radisys there. We deal with the software reference design for CUDU in that working group. And we are also making some key contributions in Working Group 3, 5, and 6. Some of the E2AP and E2SM related contributions related to RIC over there, and TFG test specifications, and some contributions related to energy savings in MWC23. And we are also contributing to the open source community under ORAN, under Linux Foundation. And we are also part of this Open Networking Foundation, and we were the founding member of the SDRAN initiative, wherein we were able to demonstrate in 2021 in Deutsche Telekom Lab in Berlin the multi-vendor interoperability for some advanced use cases, mobility use cases controlled by XApps on a RIG platform with our CU and DU. So this was a demonstration of all the capabilities to show multi-vendor interop possibilities, right? And we are also part of multiple other organizations, including OnGo Alliance, ORPC, in addition to our participation in Linux Foundation. So in terms of the software suite from Radisys, this is what we offer and empower multiple players. We work very closely with multiple ecosystem partners in the industry. Being a software-centric player, our game is to make sure our software performs the best on all platforms equally well. And that way we have integrated our RAN software on multiple SoCs, hardware, and cloud platforms. And we take the responsibility for end-to-end performance of our solution. And with the flexible architecture, we are able to scale reliably from the very small scale of femtocell 16 user, 32 user solution of CUDU to outdoor micro and tower bottom CUDU solutions which are non-virtualized, and also the vRAN solution, which is a containerized RAN, CUDU running on multiple cloud platforms. So through this, we are able to show the scaling and the basic concept of ORAN and the software-hardware decoupling, how well it can work if done right, and can benefit all the customers, giving them wider choices of platforms. So the key question is the momentum for Open RAN, and as we look at it in 2023, the way we see it, there is a lot of innovation that is happening in both hardware and software through our participation in the ecosystem. We are seeing it firsthand. A lot of government policy and funding support which is happening. We are participating in such funded programs in both UK and US. And very recently, we won the 5G challenge conducted by the US government. We won the award for DU last year. Our CUDU won the final stage of mobility, wherein we showed the mobility between 2 vendors. So such initiatives from the government is very helpful. And the combined effort of all the industry forums is keeping the momentum sustained. And the Greenfield success definitely is adding more momentum. And with all this happening, we see the industry moving more and more towards vRAN, and the expanded ecosystem is going to create a very virtuous cycle and the benefits of it. And how does it translate in terms of the relationship between the vendors and telcos? This is how we see it. The vendors are constantly evolving their position. You might have seen the most recent announcement from one of the top tier vendor about their Open RAN support. And so the vendors are all aligned in coming up with an Open RAN portfolio. Hardware software decoupling has already happened, and most of the vendors are offering now COTS and vRAN offering today. And multiple consortiums amongst vendors, partnerships among vendors is fueling the story. And on the consumer side of the story, which is the telcos and private networks, they are steering the industry forums towards this evolution. And all the extensive trials and early deployments are giving more momentum. And they are encouraging the collaboration between the vendors. And if you see clearly the underlying theme across the globe for all the vendors, there's a clear focus on energy savings, making the networks green, focus on bringing in the benefits of artificial intelligence and machine learning. So these are clear trends. And in terms of use cases which will continue to sustain this momentum, we would like to highlight three quick things. One is the FWA, which is seen as the killer app of 5G. So both in FR1 and FR2, we have seen from Radisys' point of view, enabling these deployments, making it faster and easier to deploy, both in FR1 through an Open RAN architecture and FR2 mostly in the form of small cells in indoor and outdoor. We are able to cater to both coverage and capacity needs with these bands. And the other thing which is more important from an Open RAN point of view is the flexibility of the architecture, which allows us to deploy it in multiple form factors, either at the tower bottom or the edge or at a data center, or even in-building solutions, wherein DAS was the norm earlier. Now, we're able to come up with multiple innovative solutions of innovative radios, taking advantage of the disaggregation that has happened between the DU and RU. We are able to come up with solutions which are low power RUs, which can cater to both FR1, FR2 based deployments. And of course, all the benefits of centralizing the CU as cloud native. And I would take a minute to talk about the industrial 5G, which is going to expand the pie in terms of how much more revenue can be earned. And our personal experience has been that most of these industrial use cases are going to need a release 16 capability at least, the ultra reliable low latency, and latency in the order of a single millisecond round trip time. And combined with aspects like time sensitive networking, TSN, we are going to enable much more deployments, and we are seeing that happening first in Europe primarily, and with some of the industrial manufacturing customers. And of course, the specs and the standards will evolve to support more of these reduced capability devices, red cap devices as they are called, and combined with the ability to do slicing and the differentiation between the different types of traffic and devices specific to the industry, we will be able to leverage that as well. So all of that is going to take place in terms of the processing at the local edge, all local processing, given the sensitivity of the data. And the final slide is about how do we see this picture evolving into a future which is more, I would say, laying the foundation of 6G networks. And a lot of 3GPP-enabled features. I don't want to read out all these features here. If you see the core concepts of the Open RAN and how they are impacting the RAN infrastructure, all being the foundation or the base for, let's say, the open RUs and the cloud infrastructure, and all the automation and intelligence programmability that is forming the foundation for all these high-value features, which is comp or enhanced MIMO or any of the XApps, RApps. All of these are going to be enabled, including the ability to save more energy through the energy-saving XApps and so on. So this is how the networks will evolve, and this is going to be the foundation of 6G. And we are very hopeful, given our prime position as a software-centric vendor, working with a very wide ecosystem. We see this evolution going on very naturally, smoothly, to all the way up to 6G, and the future looks very promising with Open RAN. Thank you.